This is KGW News at 11.
New tonight, Clackamas fire crews are heading to the Rum Creek Fire along with Douglas, Lincoln, and Lynn County crews. It's burning in Josephine County near Grants Pass on the Rogue River. As you can see, flames are covering the mountains and there's a lot of smoke in the air. Authorities say the fire got bigger because of strong winds in the area. It's increased from around 1,200 acres early Friday to well over 4,000 acres overnight, which is causing evacuations. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christelle Kumwe. The fire is still 0% contained, and firefighters say a huge priority right now is protecting structures at risk.
We are doing structure protection assessment for all the local communities in this geographic area. Once the impact to the structures has been minimized, we'll look to establish actual containment lines on the incident itself.
Spot fires have been discovered up to 2 miles away from the fire's footprint in Rogue River. It's currently closed from Hogue Creek through the wild section to allow easier access for firefighters. Now, meteorologist Chris McGinnis is joining us now with a satellite look at the smoke. Chris?
Yeah, Christelle, we can actually see the smoke plume that erupted with this throughout the day today. This is the visible satellite going back several hours, obviously. I want to zoom in down to Josephine County. And by the way, you saw from some of that firefighter video that we saw, they are dealing with very rugged terrain there as well in that part of Josephine County. But in any event, as we roll the clock here on the satellite imagery, you can certainly see with that yellow arrow pointed right at it, the plume from the fire. Again, over 4,000 acres currently burning, 0 contained. And as we check out the smoke forecast over the next 24 hours, the southern Oregon coast is likely to be dealing with quite a bit of smoke here as we go into tomorrow and Monday, and eventually some of that smoke may permeate even down towards the Medford and Ashland area. Later on in the forecast, if you look at the wind arrows on here, they begin to take a kind of a south to north jaunt here up the I-5 corridor, so it's possible that even here in Portland, as we get into Monday and Monday night, that we start to see some elevated smoke work its way northward into the Willamette Valley. We'll keep our eyes on that. For now, a quiet evening out there, a clear evening. Last check at PDX were 63 degrees, and the plan for Sunday, brief morning clouds. The clouds tomorrow burn off much earlier than they did today, I should say. And so we will see full sunshine with temperatures inching towards the 80-degree mark. And then, Christelle, it looks like we take a 3-day run into the 90s starting next week. I've got more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris. California is making a major shift toward electric vehicles. The state is banning the sale of new gas cars starting in 2035. It will also force automakers to speed up production of clean vehicles starting in 2026. And now Washington Governor Jay Inslee says his state will do the same. That's because in 2019, Washington passed a law saying the state must follow California's zero-emission vehicle rules. The next step will be building up infrastructure like charging stations. State officials say federal funds through the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the Inflation Reduction Act will help make it happen.
The whole network we have to deliver fuels that gets it to our cars is a completely different system. But once we get that system built, you know, the real advantage of electric cars, aside from the fact that they emit far less pollution, is that they're actually cheaper to operate.
We've reached out to Governor Brown's office for Oregon's plan on this, and they told us Oregon is working on a rule similar to California's. The DEQ is set to meet to discuss it on August 30th. One thing to note, California's ban does not impact existing gas cars. People who already own them can still drive them and sell them used. This only impacts sales of new cars. A Portland nonprofit has been hit recently hard by burglaries. Artichoke Community Music hopes they can find a way to stop these incidents. Now, Art Edwards joins us to tell us what they're doing.
Yeah, you know what, they're really working on a plan that they believe really will be able to help them out. Artichoke Community Music has been around for about 49 years. Their goal is to continue to share music here in Portland, even in the face of the challenges. 4 times since June, someone has broken into Artichoke Community Music on Southeast Powell, each time smashing windows and taking instruments and other merchandise. Paul K. Ward became executive director in June.
It's expensive for us and takes money out of our pocket that really ought to keep us on mission. So it's a big deal for us. And since I've been here, probably half my time has been spent dealing with all of the downside effects of being broken into.
Ward doesn't want to put bars on the windows. He says that would make the building feel like a fortress to visitors. They've devised a system they're installing now using plywood and metal that's decorated with posters.
So when they arrive, they're going to feel like they're participating in this incredible legacy of the Portland music scene through Artichoke Music. But anybody who wants to break in are going to look at the way we're constructed this and say, there's absolutely nothing I can do about getting in this place anymore.
The community has come through to offer support. Live music and lessons will continue.
I'm really optimistic because if there's anything that Portland stands for, it's two things. One is creativity and the second is resilience.
Artichoke Music is 49 years old, going strong and looking at a bright future despite all the recent challenges they've faced.
We do this because this is important to do. And so all these break-ins do is redouble our commitment to what Artichoke is all about, which is making sure that people have as much joy through music in their lives as they possibly can.
And now Artichoke Music did get some good news this week. Many of the instruments that were stolen in one of the latest burglaries, well, they have been recovered and they are now back ready for use. Christelle?
Oh, that's good news, a little good news. Thanks, Art. We have new video tonight from the Powell-Hearst-Gilbert neighborhood. Portland police found a woman dead on Southeast 92nd Avenue shortly after 7 this morning. One man is in custody and the case is still under investigation. PPB initially showed up because of a call of a disturbance. Authorities have not yet released information about the victim. Now to an update on an investigation out of Washington State. Last Friday, deputies with the Grants County Sheriff's Office believed they stopped a potential mass shooting at the Gorge Amphitheater. Now, after further investigation, they do not think that's the case, saying the suspect probably was not planning a mass shooting. However, during his court appearance, the suspect, Jonathan Moody, faced several charges because he had a weapon. He pleaded not guilty. Moody has since been released, and his next court appearance is scheduled for September 8th.